not pretenders. We got
like on a highway, not on a highway, but maybe a road going straight. Like, it looks like you're going pretty fast.
Maybe like 30,
Yeah,
20.
quick on one wheel.
That's if I'm like,
Yeah,
I do a lot of like,
he does a lot of
like, it really all depends. Like,
yeah, it's literally, I really like what Ace said in the last phone call. That's what we'll be working on today. It's like on our to-do list right now is chapters. Like I look at life as a book, I look at life as a garden, I look at life as a canvas, yeah, but it's literally step by step. So teaching
and consistency
and any sport, it's step by step. There's so many aspects, especially with dynamics, bro, or muscle up. A lot of people, it's overwhelming at first. Even if they have the strength, there's technique to it. You got to utilize momentum to get used to it. It's a pull push skill. You have to, if you're kipping, you got to swing simultaneously, like back to back to back, do this. And if you like put it in super slow-mo on a screen, it would be a lot less, like, it would be, not so overwhelming.
Yeah.
But when you learn
watching
this,
it click,
like,
it's like, wait, what
like
happened?
you have the spin speed, but you didn't maximize your swing and you didn't do the power push at the end. You shifted your focus to that and it took away from your spin speed. But you work on both, and then eventually subconsciously it clicks, and then you hit 720.
Yep. Oh, yeah. See, like with stunt riding, we have what you call like the Trinity. You have throttle.
It's my niece's name.
You have throttle. You have throttle control. You got brake control, and then you have idle. So those are the
breaking it down like that.
Yeah, that's what, like, when we're like in a wheelie, like there's only one thing that's gonna stop us from going too far back. It's the brake. But we don't want to hit the brake too hard where it just comes back down. You know what I'm saying? So when we pop it up with the throttle and we're just using the throttle, when it starts going back too far, we just add a little bit of brake.
What was the third one? The third?
And then idle. Idle is how you can do like really technical tricks, because then you don't have to use the throttle, and then you're just using the brake. So I have a hand brake, and then I also have a foot brake. So you're able to like move around the bike without having to hit the throttle and be able to do all
staying in one place.
do all different tricks, and like
we gotta look into that.
It's people seeing it like, yo, what is it like? How's he like? You know what I'm saying? But there's technique. Yeah. There's like different little stages that you do and you progress into it. It's like just like you said, like when you were doing a front lever, like, man, the first time I was like, man, I got this front lever, and then this is actually, there's something else that I gotta do to get that, and that's the same
below
thing.
An L sit.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, that's awesome. I'm very infatuated by hearing like in different, because I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah.
So hearing like breaking it down, and as I get older, I mean, I just realize it's a pattern, bro. Like, look at this field. Literally, like steps. It's a process.
God creates everything with like pattern.
Even
like,
the ant,
even like the little tiny ant has such great purpose. Like they dig tunnels in the ground. They make the soil nice and soft. They break it down so when the trees, when they're digging their roots, they're able to like grow deeper into the soil. So like everything. He made an ant with that much purpose. How much purpose do we have? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ants, they play a big role, dude.
A huge role.
They talk about it's mentioned in Proverbs. It's like, go look at the ant, take notes.
Yeah, for real.
You know that proverb talks about the ant?
I know about the sparrow. No, I know what you want to talk about now.
One of my favorite subjects is gardening.
Yes.
Like, I want to write a book about the garden of life, because that's, any process is, you reap what you sow. So like,
hey man,
this is a push-up. Like, oh, let's say I don't have this. This is like the end goal. I don't have this. I can't do a push-up because I don't have this. This doesn't exist. But you have a little seed, and that's a knee push-up.
Hey man,
you have to.
That's a 1 foot wheelie.
You gotta do, you apply it to whatever. I just, calisthenics. You got the seed. You do them knee push-ups. You water. You keep doing them knee push-ups. Water. And then you're doing negative push-ups.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what's in between, but then you end up with a push-up.
Yeah.
Or a full planche push-up. That's probably a tree. But that's the beauty of life. There's a pattern to everything, dude.
And that's the progression.
Life is so simple, bro. But our flesh and our sinful nature makes it complicated.
Makes
because
it
our
so complicated.
Emotions and feelings are a beautiful thing, you know. But like Coach Franco said the other night in one of our meetings, he's like, you know, like most people have them in the driver's seat. I'm guilty of it still. You know, I'm a Christian and I believe in God, but I'm not a saint. I mean, I meet people that look like saints, but behind the scenes they struggle, and it comes down to feelings and emotions and selfish ambition, which is huge. So like it's a lifelong journey of being spirit-led, like we were talking about earlier, and everyone's at their own. There's seasons where I backslide, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, but as long as it's like the stock market, as long as it's going up overall,
yeah.
Same with calisthenics, like bro, I'm not in my prime right now. I used to be like, I make this version of me look like an absolute pansy, but I'm not like a has-been. Like, no, I'm gonna make my prime version look like an absolute pansy and go past.
Yeah.
But there's seasons for everything. I shifted my focus from calisthenics to focus on the foundation of God. Because I made it in calisthenics. I did it big, you know? Like, I was like, I'm doing it for a living. Everything I worked for. I used to work construction, sweating my
tail off,
my toes off,
nose off,
sweating my toes and nose off. Yeah, working all different construction, and then I'd go train calisthenics and edit videos, and then eventually I was doing that full time. Not full time. I was working 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and I like had it made. Like I was doing that for a living, and I felt more lost and depressed than ever. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? I didn't have accountability. I didn't have the discipline. I didn't have the wise counsel in my life to hold me accountable to building that relationship with God. So I just realized like there's been times when I'm fasting unintentionally, eating ramen noodles because I'm broke. I don't have anything worldly, but I feel more fulfilled and at peace because I'm seeking God. So it's like, that's what he was talking about today at The Rock, you know? Yeah. People are like looking for something. They're hungry, but they try to fill it with these things. And I still get caught up, but I have more awareness. I was talking about her about awareness. That's one of my favorite words. You don't know.
Awareness, discernment, those are powerful words. Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. That's a quote that I didn't play basketball, but I was really close to the basketball coach at my high school. I played football, and then he would always try to get me to play basketball. But I had a girlfriend. I'm like, man, it's girlfriend season. I go home after school and spend time with my girlfriend. But we were really close. He was my friend's dad. And by the way, my nickname is Captain. That's been my nickname since I was a baby. Oh. So my friends call me Cap. Like if you meet my cousin later, and he says Cap, he's talking to me. So,
gotcha. So it's not because you wear the hat?
No, it's Captain.
Gotcha.
My other cousin, so there's Randy and James. James is my older cousin. He was the athlete of the family who inspired me. He's a couple years older, and then Randy's like 1 or 2 years younger. Him and I are business partners. But James was boss man as a baby, and I was captain. And it's kind of stuck with me, just Cap. So he's like, Cappy, before you graduate, hit the real world. Remember this, you don't know what you don't know. And I was like, thanks, coach. Like, you're right, obviously. But dude, that's one of my favorite quotes because life is full of unknowns, but people live in a box. See,
like mine is perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect.
That's what
that
God
sums it up. Like, that's something that I needed to hear in a certain season, because when you reach a certain level in your craft, it's hard to settle for anything less. But if you're perfectly imperfect, you take away that perfectionism mindset and you
find the beauty and the creativeness of it, because that's like, man, that's what brings like the skill to a whole nother level. Like I know stunt riders that can do way crazier things, way more advanced stunts, but it's like it's all about the style, it's all about the craft. It's about like you have different stunt riders, like they could do the same trick, but the style and the creativeness to it. Yeah. Some people like the more sloppier style, and then some people are more like, I like that style because it's cleaner. Yeah. But it's art, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like when we're being used by the kingdom, like the style and the uniqueness that God brings to like our craft and everything that we do, it's different. We don't have to fight with anybody else. You know, everything that we're doing is for His glory, so we're able to just like bring that heavenly kingdom down to like whatever atmosphere we're doing, and we're bound to be different. We're bound to be like innovative. We're bound to be like, yo.
We all have it.
Yeah, we all have it.
We all have it. Well, on different levels, you know, like there's different personalities, and I'm very grateful for the people that are more operators, and they're not as creative. They have creativeness in them, so you gotta pull it out, but they're more of like, they push they get the train there on time. In my position at the hotel, which the GM kind of helped me learn this, is us as creators, we are we are focused on the experience. So there's people, personalities that are operators. They make sure the train gets to a place on time, but we make sure the express and throughout their stay,
throughout it,
experience.
man.
So we need both personalities and like
Then,
iron. But bro, you know, do you use YouVersion Bible app?
Yeah, for sure.
You know how like I if I like a verse, I like all verses. Some I don't understand, to be honest, but I'll click on it and then I hit compare and I look at a bunch of different translations.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know, bro. You know how it's all English. You know, it's all English, but it's all different translations. You're speaking my translation, and not many people do, and I'm very relieved to hear that, bro.
Yo.
I have a handful of real ones. He's one that I can, because people just don't resonate with creators or Christians. Christian creators.
Yeah, Christian creators, and that's
let alone being a creator, you're an outcast. But if you're a Christian creator, you're like an alien.
You're in a whole different stratosphere.
You're literally an alien.
Because you walk into spaces where like it's just like, well, he can't fit in here. He can't fit in here. It's because the scale that God has us on is so like, God can use us in so many different ways because we're operating in like these spiritual gifts, like this joy, this encouragement, this healing power, this prophecy, speaking life into people's lives and situations. Like you said, pulling out that creative spirit out of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's part of the Holy Spirit, pulling that out. Like, okay, if you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be the surgeon that just does stuff that's just way different, man. You're gonna go into if you're gonna be the police officer.
Dude, that's what I love about your sport. Is it what you say? It's sport?
Stunt riding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sport.
It's kind of like calisthenics. People don't know if it's a sport. It's a sport. But
no, it's definitely.
I love what you said because I can go hit a 360. You can go hit a 360. The world champion can go hit a 360. But it's the same skill, but there's different. It's a millennial term, I guess, but vibe. Yeah. I love that word because like businesses, there's people that have the same businesses, but it's branding. It comes down to branding your art. The fillers are cool, but they'll do a giant. So a giant is when you swing and your whole body's locked out. You keep going, you know?
I've seen that.
They do that like 20 times in a row. I'm like, all right, it's cool if you do it 1 or 2 times, but like they do that, and then they hit like a crazy trick, and then do that. I'm like, bro, you gotta like get to the point. Like do that one time, do the crazy trick, do another crazy trick, and then do that again. But don't be doing that like 30 million.
Yeah, man.
I don't know who. Like, they're better than me, so I'm just like a hater right now. But it's freestyle. So it's like with rap, there's no right or wrong to music, you know? It's like abstract art.
Yes.
You see these paintings on a wall, it's like $10 million. It's like my 2-year-old nephew could have done a better job. But at the same time, it's art. There's no right or wrong to it. This is a form of art.
Amen. So
people have different vibes. I personally like to have balance. And that's how you thrive in the competitive side of this. You need statics and dynamics. And then there's power dynamics. There's more in depth, but those are the 2 umbrellas, and there's so many skills within each of them. A lot of athletes thrive in dynamics or statics. If you don't balance both out with your flow, you're only going to go so far, you know? So I've always been intentional on
that, man. It's like a mixture between like, cause like you're talking about music, like some people be like, yo, you're a rapper. I'm like, no. I'm an artist, man. Like I'm a vocalist. Like, you know, like the things that like I don't have a set genre. Is just like how God wants me to use me in those moments, in those times.
You filming right now?
So it's amazing thing.
Label this.
This could be.
This goes on the video. Label this video Divine Appointment.
Yes, Divine Appointment.
Bro, seriously. How old are you?
How
old are you?
I'll be 28 this year.
I knew you were somewhere close to me because I got to the point where I gotta think about it. You know, as a teenager I was like 18.
Yeah,
18 and a half. You know? As a kid I'm like I'm 7 and a half.
But that's really how it is, man.
Somewhere around 25, 26, I forget.
Everything has style.
I'll be 26 this year, but dude, I'm the same way. And Dom knows how passionate I am about creating and meeting creators. And I was telling her, like, there's 7 billion people in this world, and I believe that less than 1% are truly living out God's calling on their life. So I believe we are, you know. And she's only 16, which is absolutely crazy, bro.
I know.
But she's such a great listener, and she was telling me you're helping her and challenging her in certain areas. But anytime I have a conversation, I'm gonna challenge people. So I was challenging her. I was like, you gotta read books. She's like, read books? Like, I hate reading. And I was like, that's the same thing I said.
Yeah.
You know? Start with calisthenics.
Yeah.
Rich, Jamie's brother, he could do this for 10 seconds. I'd never seen it in my life. I was like, oh, I could do that. Just graduated high school, fresh out, competing in weightlifting, football. I was like,
yeah,
try my hardest. It's impossible.
Is it possible?
The average, the complacency in our world is because they stop there.
They stop there. And that's like, for me, with like,
and stay driven then.
Yes, man. That's how it was with like stunt riding for me. Like, I was like, I could only get the wheel off the ground, like 1 foot. And no, that was a victory, but I was like, yeah, man, I'm just never going to be there. And then like some tragedies happened in my life where God brought it back, where it's like, yo, it's time to push way harder, way beyond what the limitations that the world says you're doing, what you say that you can, because it's not about me.
Yeah.
How am I going to get glory through what you're doing? So, man, like, yo, that's just like what it's about, man. Giving God glory in whatever we do. And if you can learn more, why not? Because it's only going to bring more glory to the kingdom. If you can learn more things, why not learn them? Like, hey, you got some free time? You want to learn a different language? Why not learn a different language?
It's very refreshing hearing that, because something I struggled with the past few years, realizing that I have a lot of passions. You can relate. I mean, he's an athlete, he's a musician, he's an entrepreneur. So all of us here are like a very rare breed. Everyone has the potential. I believe everyone's a creator. Different personalities, different strengths, weaknesses. But something I've been contemplating the past few years is like I gotta quit something and focus somewhere else. And it's true to a certain extent, but I realize what God's calling me to do personally is build a platform and leverage my gifts. So use my music to spread His message, use my YouTube videos that I'm filming, because I'm passionate about filming and creating, of the videos of doing.
Yes.
So there's so many aspects, but they all tie in together. The alignment factor. Yeah, let's act like it's a microphone. Whatever you just said, bro, drop it. Enough said.
10 for 10. Let's go, man. All glory to the King.
Oh, can you open up your phone? I got a challenge for you. Let's get an uplifting worship vibe. And if you don't mind, I know you hate the capo. Can you put it on the 4th fret?
Bro, I won't.
It's a vibe. Yo, do I got mine? Yeah.
Throwback.
You want it over here?
You're so good to me. Open up my eyes and spread the sea. Red Sea, where you carrying me. I know that I'm seeing you so clear in my mind. Spirit of